Are we ready in the back, Debbie? We are. Thank you. Are we ready in the front, Jane? Okay, Holly? Yes. We're good? Okay. Well, good morning. Today is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, and we'd like to welcome everyone to the board meeting. We'll call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. The teleconference number is 1-971-254-3149. Conference ID 866-914-607#. Audio capabilities are listen only and are offered on a best effort for the public. Our meeting is also live streamed, and you can join us online by going to our website. Other viewing options are available at tctvonline.com. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute your phone when your agenda item is ready to be discussed. For those joining via computer, please unmute your microphone and turn on your camera when your agenda item is called. All others must remain muted with their cameras turned off. Thank you. Public comment. Those intending to provide public comment to the board may attend in person or email submissions to the public comments email on our website. Public comments received by 12 p.m. on Tuesday will be distributed to the board, posted online before the meeting, and become part of the public record. You may also provide public comment virtually by registering ahead of time. To register, please email public comments by 12 p.m. on the Tuesday prior to the board meeting. Public comments can also be mailed to the Board of Commissioners Office, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook, Oregon, 97141. For more information on public comment options, please visit the Board of Commissioners webpage. Do we have anyone signed up in the room, or has anyone registered online for public comment? No. We do not. Okay, thank you. Well, we have already called this meeting to order. Then we'll welcome the folks in the room today and invite them to sign the guest list if they've not done so. And then we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Bell, would you please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we do not have public comment. We have one agenda item, number 9, has been postponed. Other than that, we'll follow our agenda as printed. So our next up is our presentation, and we have the annual tourism report for fiscal year 2024-2025 with Nan Devlin, the director of Tillamook Coast Visitors Association. Good morning, Nan.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent.
Thank you. We had a very busy year, and a lot got accomplished. And really, I would say that 24-25 was really one of the most, had the most impact, I believe, in the county and for our communities. And I will, as we go through, I was just on, we can start with page 5, Debbie. You got page 5, yeah, thank you. So this is one of our, we have 3 KPIs, or actually 3 areas that we measure our success against, and it's called the 3 Rs, and it's based on sustainable tourism principles, which were established by the UN World Trade or World Tourism Organization, and that's people, place, and profit. And so people, in our KPI, we call it the return on relationships. What are we doing for our communities and our residents? Place is about how are we being good stewards, and that's a return on responsibility. And then the profit part of sustainable tourism is really about year-round economic vitality, and we call that return on reinvestment. So those are the 3 Rs that we measure against, and is in our contract to meet those obligations. So I'll start with return on relationships, and this first thing, this community programs, to me, this is one of the most significant things we have done over the last, we started these in 2022, and we meet with communities for like 3 to 5 sessions. Some want 5 sessions like NETARTS did. And we talk about, okay, if you had a dream list of how we could help, tourism could help your community. Let's do that. We'll talk about it. And we just do a big brainstorming session. On the second meeting with the communities, then we do, okay, here's what you listed. Here, kind of like put these into categories. And let's talk about the priorities. Which ones do you think are priorities? It's all done by vote and discussion. The third meeting is, okay, here's what you said you wanted. How are you going to make these things happen, and who's going to do them? And how can we help you do them? And Monday, today's Wednesday, Monday, I met with someone from NETARTS who had decided that we had 5 sessions or 4 sessions with NETARTS, and they're organizing really well right now. And a gentleman who wanted to do some beautification of the NETARTS boat launch area presented me with this beautiful plan. He says, this all started with those meetings. And I'm going to help him with fundraising and things. So it's going to be a beautiful park around there. And we also have wayfinding starting there too. But every community that we work with has prioritized their projects, and they've accomplished their top 3 already. Oceanside, Cape Mirrors. We're now working with Manzanita on wayfinding, and they did a trail, comprehensive trail. They're working on the plan for that, and that was their #1. They wanted a coffee shop, and they're getting a coffee shop. I mean, where you can sit down, and yeah, it's great. So there's been a lot of really great action, and it gave us a way to help our community. So I'm very, very proud of that. We also worked with Manzanita too during this last fiscal year when they assigned a code officer for STR codes, and that worked out so well. And I checked with Orla and Travel Oregon to find out, is this okay that they use part of the TLT to pay for his half of or part of his salary? And they said yes, and that was a really great way, I think, to use lodging tax to ensure that people were behaving as they should, and they had all their licenses and everything. So it's all been worked out, and that was also part of the Manzanita planning session too, is to do that. So I'm really glad about that. And then going on, culinary and agritourism, the North Coast Food Trail is now in its 8th year with 86 members. And Travel Oregon told us we're the most successful food trail in the state. It's really good. And I still will say this, is that I'm so proud of them because during COVID, not a single one went out of business. And I'm really glad about that. We did 4 wonderful videos, Cooking with the Chefs, the North Coast Food Trail. And that's on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Tillamook Coast. And we've had 200,000 views just on our YouTube channel. It's been out on social media as well. It's pretty good. We also worked with Rural Prosperity Partners, who is helping us with getting funds for the food hub, which will be owned by the Port of Tillamook Bay, but it's up to us to try to help find those funding. And we got a grant for some food industry events and campaign about that food hub. And we also got a $48,000 grant from the EDA of Lincoln County it was a Blue Economy grant. And we're getting that final report probably by the end of this month about where we can set up seafood and fishing industry training. And things like a co-packing and processing place. And I'm really looking forward to that report. Cultural heritage and the arts, 25 historic sites on the Tillamook Coast. We worked with the Tillamook County Historical Society to publish our new guidebook. I was really thrilled to do that, and working with Sally Russell and who are just so passionate about cultural heritage. I love it. Also in industry support, we have a contract with the City of Manzanita. This is the last year of that contract, but we manage their off-season grant, and we oversee the person who manages the visitor center in Manzanita. We also do Rockaway Beach tourism marketing on a contract. This is the last year, too, of a 5-year contract. But we also help them start their facade improvement and marketing grants. And I just sent out a press release yesterday about all the money that they're investing in their community. And they're doing such a marvelous job. A lot of these others are, things that we did with, updating our website, and we published a wonderful tourism sector industry report in June that showed the things that our tourism businesses are struggling with. And the two main things, of course, are short staffing and housing, and what they're doing to try to solve it on their own, and what they're looking forward to with help. We got great reviews from the tourism sector on our work with them, and that was really great. I was very happy about that. On page 6, starting 6 and 7, return on responsibility. This has to do with, of course, environment and things we can do to help communities as a whole. Wayfinding has been very busy. It's busy this year as well. We developed plans for Manzanita, Cape Mears, Oceanside, Pacific City, and Bay City additions. We've installed signs all around. Cloverdale now has more historic panels in town, and that's another Sally Rizzle passion project. So I worked with her on that. And we are now, next week, we'll be starting a Garibaldi wayfinding plan. We had put that off for almost 9 years because we're waiting for the ODOT project to get finished, and it's beautiful what ODOT did. It just looks wonderful there. We are partnering with the Salmonberry Trail Foundation and the Tillamook County Wellness Group to host a series of hikes in Wheeler and Rockaway Beach that pertain to the Salmonberry Trail. Both Oceanside and Cape Mears formed community trails project plans. We're working with them on that. And Dan Haig was very successful, along with the Oregon Trails Foundation, I believe, in advocating and getting the restoration of the recreational immunity law. And that's a big deal. That could have had such a big impact on outdoor recreation here. We also sponsored the Wilderness Emergency Medical Training last year, and last fiscal year, with 80 community members. And we're I believe, going to do more this year. And we also worked with Rockaway Beach Fire District to help them with their brochure and emergency window clings and information about what to do in case of an emergency. That was really fun to work with, Chief Hesse and Captain Grace. They're wonderful to work with. Also, in our stewardship, Tillamook Coast Volunteer Adventures, we hosted 7 organizations last fiscal year. A little fewer this year, I'm not sure why, but that was a really wonderful experience. This is one of my favorite projects, doing the video on the Cape Mears Loop Road. I love that video, and I should send that to you so you can put it on your website, because I'll send that to you today so you can have it on your website. It's great. There was a stewardship messaging group formed that included all kinds of environmental groups and sustainable environmental groups. We also completed almost a year-long work with an organization called Leave No Trace, which is a national organization, and it's provide education and training for communities and visitors. And we also partnered with DeGard Brewing to create a special beer called TKO for Tillamook Trails, or Tillamook, excuse me, Trail Keepers of Oregon. I always think the T is Tillamook. And they raised $2,500 at a special event selling that beer that went to Trail Keepers. So I was really glad about that too. Accessibility, a lot of things happened here where now we became a Wheel the World verified destination. That is an international destination. I believe we were the first whole county to receive that verification. And now Travel Oregon is working on as a state verified Wheel the World destination. In addition to our 9 beach wheelchairs, the county now has 4 David's chairs, and we sponsor 3 of them. And a fellow in who's I don't know who did this because it's been kind of a I think he wanted to keep it quiet, but he did this. A fellow in Pacific City sponsored the one down there. I was really glad about that. We had hearing loops installed at the Tillamook Creamery and the Tillamook Air Museum. We hosted a Downs and Towns, their media influencers, a mother and her 20-something-year-old son. He has Downs, and he travels around the United States. Um, and they gave us a great report on how, for autism, we are a welcoming um, destination with signage, with places you can go quiet for a while. And I know that some of the trails that we want to do are include those quiet places. Those are really good. Um, on reinvestment, which is page 8, we did every year we do the KOIN TV. It's called the Oregon Harvest Documentary, and every year we showcase a farmer, a fisher, and either a food or beverage producer. And this last year it was Twist Wine, West Fish Company, and DeGard Brewing. A week ago Monday, we just did another one, and I approached KYN and said, let's do something a little different. How about a local foods dinner? And we have a fisherman catch the fish, we have a farmer get the produce, we all come to the Bay City Kitchen and we film this dinner. And we did that, and I'll get a clip on that. It was the most wonderful event. The food was fantastic, but the discussions that are going to be on film and we were interviewed for is all about the strength of community. And I'm so looking forward to that. The farm was Josie Farms, and they brought all the kids with them who help on the farm, and they are so eloquent. They were interviewed on camera, and they spoke so you know it was wonderful. It was just great. I can hardly wait to see it. Um, we're sharing the message of outdoor recreation, our GIS map, and volunteer adventures on Oregon Field Guide, Northwestern Sports Radio, and the Explore Oregon podcast, which is run by Zach Ness, who's one of the top outdoor writers, and he works for the Salem Statesman Journal. And he has this podcast, and he has tens of thousands of followers, and they hear our messaging there. In fact, the first 2 volunteer adventures came from that podcast. We also were doing the food trail and local food stories on Super Abundant, which is an Emmy Award-winning OPB program. And it's online, and they have a wonderful newsletter with recipes, and they often use ingredients from Tillamook County. We also did some Here is Oregon campaign on what can nature do for you, and it was during like a really stressful time. And we said, just get out in nature and enjoy it and be there with it and block out all the politics. That kind of stuff. We also did, which has been, it's ongoing through October. It's called Affordable Travel. And we have gotten a couple 100,000 responses on that through, clicks and views and social media posts. It's been very good. We hired Trent Olson, who is a police officer with the city of Tillamook. He has garnered close to 50,000 followers just on his little reels, and his posts just get incredible engagement and questions by, okay, where is this exactly in Tillamook County, and where can I go? And he does a lot of environmental messaging and stewardship messaging. And he was doing such a great job. I hired him for Rockaway Beach, so he's doing that too. And of course, his sunset reels just are just amazing. We launched our podcast, Tillamook Coast Conversations podcast, and we're interviewing people throughout the county. I think there's about 8 to 10 podcasts right now. Nicole Steen started that. We did a great one. We did our brand story video, which we showed at our tourism banquet in February. Lots of press releases, and we had 50,000 copies of the visitor guide, and they are all gone, and we're waiting for the new one to arrive from the printer. So, also on return on investment, I wanted to talk to you a bit about our grant management programs. Outgoing, which was the facilities grant, marketing grant, Rockaway facade improvement grant, and marketing grant, and a Manzanita marketing grant. We managed 1,105,000 in grants going out into the community. 712 of that was in facilities grants. Incoming, we received $10,000 grant for the wine country license plate that Travel Oregon manages, and that's for Crave the Coast month, which is October, starting October 1st. I mentioned before, we had a $6,000 Roundhouse Foundation grant, which Colpac was our fiscal agent because they don't give to 501c6s. So Colpac has agreed to be a fiscal agent if we need that in the future. And it was for food, farm, and training support. We also got a $65,000 grant from Travel Oregon for the Wheel the World work. And then I said the $38,000 grant from EDA, Lincoln County, Seafood Hub and Training Center Plan. We did an audit for 2023-24, very successful outcome, and they had two requests. One was to make sure that keep a running total and list of gift cards because gift cards apparently are misused a lot, and they're often given to employees if they don't all go out in a conference or something. And he said that's considered, if you give to an employee, it's considered employment. It's part of the salary. So we've never done that, but we've got that thing going, and it's in our employee handbook about that. And also the use of TLT for alcohol. And how do we do that? It's not for just going out for a meeting and having drinks. You can't do that. But if, say, wine and beer is served at a conference, we can use that. And we check with the state and Travel Oregon on that. So that's fine. So that's also in our employee handbook. We are contracting with accountants from Kelly Nonprofit Consulting, which has really worked out very well. And we also contract with an HR consultant and a legal counsel. Whenever we have a question about anything, we check with them and get written approval or written no, don't do that. So, and then we also launched the Foundant Grant Management software. That has been such a good decision. I'm trained on it. I was training one of our staff on it too, took lessons in it. It takes about 4 months to really learn it. And even then, even though I've been working on it with it for 2 years, I still have to get direction because how come this isn't working? But they're a great customer service. Most of our team went through some training. They went to Oregon Tourism Leadership Academy, GW Certificate in Sustainable Tourism. We've had grant writing classes, Foundant management, and part of the team started some AI training, and we did that to ensure integrity of our brand and content because AI is being used for trash. I mean, we don't want plagiarism. We just want brand integrity. So we did also, I missed this part, but we applied for grants. We asked for $100,000 to the USDA for local foods grant, and won't know about that until next month, maybe November, and then also $98,000 for a food hub equipment grant, and we did not get that one, and we were the next in line, they ran out of money. I'm really sorry about that. Um, in process right now is an EDA grant for food hub infrastructure for the port and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services grant for commissary kitchen development. And that is training, get money for training, a food hub management plan, things like that. So anyway, I would just say that um, it was a great year, absolutely great year. I'm very proud of it. And on the back page, page 10, there's also a list of all that we do in the community as volunteers. And I'm on the board of the Potomac Library, the Transportation District, which I love. My grandfather was a trolley car conductor in Portland. And I've always been a bus enthusiast. I'm on the Halem Valley Historical Society and the Oregon Destination Association. Dan had UC Sammy's Place, which I think he just resigned from. No, not that one. He resigned from them. Sorry, he's on Sammy's Place, Salmonberry Trail Foundation, Oregon Trails Coalition, and the North Coast Tourism Network, which we started with Travel Oregon back in 2017. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here, and we have very involved staff. And any questions?
Thank you, Nan. That was great. Questions or comments? Come forward.
Thank you. Well, good morning, Nan. Thank you for that excellent report. I love this report annually because, time goes so quickly. And I know TCBA is doing good work, but to hear about the body of work and everything the organization has accomplished in a year is truly impressive. And so thank you for putting this together for us. I loved the work that you're doing in unincorporated communities as well as cities. It's so important. It's so helpful to our community, and especially the unincorporated communities that don't have a city structure. They don't have somebody on staff to work through those processes. That's fabulous work. The congratulations on being the best food trail in the state. That's really great. I'm super excited to see the local foods video you described. That sounds wonderful. And yeah, what a good idea and a terrific way to highlight what's going on locally. I did not know until this morning that Trent Olson is a local police officer because I have also seen his reels and his posts and thought, wow, this guy's a great photographer. So I didn't get the local connection at all until you said it. So that was fun to learn. And I am wowed by the trails work and accessibility work that the organization is doing. So I'm grateful for all of that, and thank you.
And I would also like to give a shout out to Oceanside. We talked about Neatarts and what they're doing there and working with wayfinding in their boat launch plans. But Oceanside, went through kind of a tough time it was a year or so ago when they were voting to incorporate or not, and it failed. But there are people in that town that said we need to bring the community together. And so a 501c3 was formed called the Oceanside Action Partnership. I have been working very closely with them on several projects, and they're having a big event on October 25th, and where they're going to go through, okay, look at all we did, and they want me to facilitate, and we will, what's next? What's our next projects, and who wants to help out with this? They have been so active and so involved. I'm just very impressed with them.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't think I can top that. I do appreciate the report. I am excited about the trails and the accessibility stuff as well, and I do like to hear what we've been spending our county TLT money on. It's important for the people to know where it goes. So I do appreciate it. You did a great job, so I don't think I can top it. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Well, I agree with my colleagues. It's wonderful to get a recap, and there is so much that is done in our sustainable tourism world thanks to your organization. And I really do appreciate that immensely as we are looking at how do we make tourism look the way we would like it to in our communities to the best of our ability. The things that are supported through your organization help us draw the people who will enjoy our county in the way that we enjoy our county. And I think that is exceptionally valuable to all of us. And so appreciate that aspect of the work that, we say this every year, but I'm going to say it again, because I think when we started with the transient lodging, it was market, 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 bring them here, bring them here, bring them here. And people got very, sort of upset at that point, right?
Angry was the word I
Angry would
used.
not be the word, thank you. Very angry at a point for the fact that we began to feel overwhelmed. And I'm not saying that we don't feel overwhelmed at times now, we do. But I think the work is really important, and it shows effectiveness in bringing here the people who, again, enjoy our community the way we do. So thank you for that work.
Yeah, when we became a 501c6, we had the opportunity to, and even though we still do some marketing, we're going to do it. We have to do it on behalf of our tourism businesses. They need that. But we switched. It was my passion. Community-based tourism has been my passion for years. That's what when I got my master's in tourism, that's what I focused on. And I had great professors in that. But I wanted to do that. I'd been kind of planning that all along and had a secret file on it. And I thought, okay, as soon as I have this opportunity, and we did. We launched it when we started the 501c6, and I'm glad that we had at that time a board that really supported that. And that's when all these programs really started. Yeah, so I'm glad too. I will tell you too, thank you, because you have enabled community-based tourism by starting those facilities grants right off the bat. I mean, the first year of TLT came in 2014, and during that time they started planning these facilities grants, and they were launched in early 2015. And I immediately saw the power of that. And you're the only county doing this in the state where most of the lodging tax gets funneled back into the community. And people call me all the time. I get outreach on LinkedIn. How did you do this? You just do it. I feel like a Nike ad. Just do it. And we share all of our information with them. We help them get them started. We review their grants for them, and we ask for let us know how this goes. So we, as a county, you're a leader in the state in tourism. We don't get the biggest numbers, like Lincoln County and Clatsop County get 3 times the lodging tax and lodging revenue. It doesn't matter. It's what you're doing here. And it's because of the decisions that were made by the county commissioners that that's happening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, commissioners. All right, Nan, thank you so much. Appreciate you being with us this
Sure.
morning.
All right.
And we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of our agenda. Have a great day. Okay, moving on. We will jump into our legislative administrative agenda, which starts with item 6, consideration of an administrative service agreement with Tillamook Family Counseling Center, Inc. for the fulfillment of the State of Oregon Intergovernmental Grant Agreement for the provision of Tillamook County Community Developmental Disability Services. Frank Counter-Williams, Executive Director of Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Commissioners. This agreement that you have in front of you is it's an agreement that focuses on the funding for our services to the developmentally disabled, and it is a 6-month agreement. For those in the audience who may not know that, services to the developmentally disabled comes through Tillamook Family Counseling Center. We have an entire unit and staff and programming for those kinds of supports and services. And it is separate in some ways. It's separate in some in terms of the funding from our other behavioral health services. And in this situation, we've had a much closer relationship with the dollars that flow from the state to the county to us. And what we are doing for this particular period is presenting and having had some discussion about this process that going from July to December of this year And the background discussion has been with the Board of County Commissioners to take a look at reassigning, if you will, the funding that comes through so that it is less a routing to the county and more of a direct contracting arrangement between the Oregon Department of Human Services and Tillamook Family Counseling Center. But for now, this is the interim arrangement. Normally, we'd be talking about a contract that would be 2 years, but we're going to take the first 6 months right now, come to an agreement, and then come back and formalize the remaining year and a half, which would be January 26th to June 27th. And again, this is the agreement that has attached to it the services and supports that get funded, and a 6-month period of time in terms, if you want to look at it in terms of actual dollars. You know, if I look at the yearly amount for the that's in our budget for the amount of dollars that we would be actually receiving for this service area for a year, would be around 1.5 million. So we're really talking about a 6-month amount of approximately 750,000. And after all those words, what I would do is I would request your approval.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. For anyone who did not see our meeting last week, I invite you to go back and either through our website or through tctvonline.com. We had a great presentation from the program manager of our developmental disabilities program here in Tillamook County, who talked more about the exact services that they provide underneath this. And we also discussed the shift to move this from coming to the county and us subcontracting to Tillamook Family Counseling to getting the county out of that loop, because we're not required to be there, and having that contract go direct. So this is simply the final step of that process. So thank you for that, Frank. Appreciate the explanation.
Thanks.
Commissioners, questions?
None for me.
I just want to say I had the pleasure of meeting Frank over there in that new section.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
isn't that a
building.
great building?
What a great space, Frank, and the public. I really appreciate that. I also didn't realize that they have on staff investigators that help through cases. And I just think it's fantastic service that we're offering. So yeah, it's a beautiful building.
Well, it's a great staff, and they're very committed and dedicated. And David Richmond is we are fortunate to have him in Tillamook County as our program manager, and so those things go both ways. And again, it's a pleasure working with him.
I would say that, and if those who don't know, it's in the old Lockheed building, and it's wonderful. And if you're someone that needs those services, I recommend you go
Absolutely.
check it out for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. I think with that, we're ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I move approval of an administrative service agreement with Tillamook Family Counseling Center, Inc. for the fulfillment of the State of Oregon Intergovernmental Grant Agreement for the provision of Tillamook County Community Development Disability Services.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Okay, moving on to item 7, consideration of a personal services agreement with Oregon Natural Forestry LLC for a community wildfire protection plan project manager. We have Randy Thorpe, Director of Emergency Management, with us. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Commissioners. What we have is, this is our agreement to hire a project manager for our community wildfire protection plan. The plan and this position was both funded through a grant from the Fire Marshal's office. And they recommended that we use part of that money to hire a project manager, to free up my time, I guess, and to have someone who can really work with them extensively with that. I looked around, we went with an individual that has experience here locally. He has a background in wildland fire. He's worked with Bay City and their Firewise community. And the company is owned by Dave Wells. Some of you may know him, some of you may not, but he has been doing an excellent job so far. Right now, we've actually had our first stakeholder meet, not a stakeholder, our steering committee meeting set up with Bindle, which is the contractor. So it's a great opportunity, and it's a great to have a project manager to oversee everything and not have me doing 3 or 4 of these little small grants out there. So I would recommend that you approve this, because it's a great opportunity, and like I say, it's all being funded from a grant. So that doesn't affect our budget at all, which is great. I like that.
Perfect, thank you. Questions or comments, commissioners?
I'm fully supportive and grateful that Mr. Wells is available and willing to do the work.
I agree, and David's a local, and I first met him at one of the Tillamook Pioneer Association meetings. So I love that we are hiring a local who knows our forest intimately, so absolutely approve.
As do I. Work with David Wells on the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters Group, and he's wonderful. So I think we found a good person to fill the contract.
Madam Chair, I move approval of a personal services agreement with Oregon Natural Forestry LLC for a community wildfire protection plan project manager.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, moving on to item 8. Consideration of a resolution in the matter of affirming Tillamook County's participation in the State of Oregon Moderate Income Revolving Loan Program. We have Parker Sammons, our housing coordinator, with us today. Good morning, Parker.
Good morning, commissioners. The Moderate Income Revolving Loan Program is a state-funded initiative designed to expand housing options for Oregon's workforce by providing 0% interest loans to support the development of moderate income housing. The Moderate Income Revolving Loan Fund, or MERL, presents a major opportunity for Tillamook County to address its housing shortage by making workforce housing financially viable. Many projects that could serve teachers, healthcare staff, fishermen, loggers, and other essential workers struggle to secure conventional financing because rents affordable to middle-income households do not generate enough return for traditional lenders. By offering low-cost revolving capital, the MERL program bridges this financial gap and makes it possible to build housing that directly serves the county's workforce. This not only stabilizes the local labor market, but also reduces economic strain of long commutes, housing insecurity, and worker shortages that currently challenge our community. Our schools, hospitals, law enforcement, and community partners consistently report losing teachers, nurses, doctors, and other skilled professionals simply because they cannot find an affordable place to live. The MERL program directly addresses this challenge by enabling the creation of much-needed, high-quality workforce and affordable housing tailored to these critical community members. Importantly, MERL is not limited to building rental units. It also opens the door for affordable home ownership opportunities, helping families and those who have been excluded from home ownership to put down roots in Tillamook County and strengthen the long-term stability and health of our community. MERL will create jobs, increase the tax base, and provide high-quality housing to people living and working in Tillamook County. This is an amazing opportunity for Tillamook County, and we've all worked a really long and hard time on this to make sure that we tailor this resolution to meet our specific needs. There are 2 amazing nonprofit projects that will immediately qualify for this program, and the potential is to bring in, roughly close to $2 million to help support those 2 initial projects and many more in the future. I think this is a great opportunity for Tillamook County, and I'm happy to take any questions you have.
Okay, thank you. Questions or comments, commissioners?
I think this is a great program. Thank you for that excellent explanation. I would like, on the 2 projects, can you name the 2 projects for me?
Sure. It is the Tillamook Bay Commons project on 3rd Street, and then the Thompson Springs project in, which is Sammy's Place, up in Nehalem.
And we've heard a lot about those 2 projects. They're great projects. Can you tell me about the first one and how it was pre-leased and how successful that went, that we had to add units? Because I think that's important.
Sure, thank you. That project has been a huge work of community outreach and support. That project originally was started at 36 units, but we completely pre-leased it to hospital staff and the school district and creamery staff. Since then, that project has actually transitioned to be a nonprofit, and so they are really looking for. They put out the word that they still had these spaces for other nonprofit, public agencies, and those pre-leasing requests just kept coming in, and that's when the project grew and doubled in size, all the way up to 72 units, which really just illustrates the need for the housing for teachers, hospital staff, and it's very cool that this nonprofit has come together in the way that it has, because it'll be an ongoing system of creating housing to meet these needs in the county. And all of the rent that will ever be paid in that project will go to create more housing. There is no landlord making a profit here. So that is a really exciting feature and a tool, and this MERL program is going to help kickstart that. And over the next 20 years, you'll see it spin up and create more and more housing until there is every need of anybody living and working here is met.
And I think this is the second place in Oregon that's doing this, or the first? How is that?
It's a little unclear who got to the finish line first.
We'll take credit.
We received our determination letter on August 8th, and we were informed about a month later that the project became a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit. It's either the second or the third in the entire country, or the first or second in Oregon, and it's definitely Tillamook leading the way in a new, innovative space in workforce housing.
And we've spoken offline about this, and one of the things I got some people asking me, like, well, we're foregoing taxes, but the investment into the community, I mean, the amount of money to have 4 units or 6 units for teachers is incredible, and nursing staff and doctors and medical staff is incredible. And then people need to remember that in 10 or 15 years, when those places hit the tax rolls, that's going to be probably much needed and beneficial money looking down the road. So.
Not to mention
Wanna
all of the
recognize-
high quality housing that's been provided in the meantime.
Absolutely, and it
Yeah.
just shows that I love how quick you were able to get the work that's been involved with both of you getting this going, and how quick this is coming together. So I really appreciate it, and it's really beneficial. So I appreciate the explanations.
Well, thank you. It's because of the work that Tillamook County has been doing over the last 5 years and 10 years even, really having the infrastructure to take on these kinds of programs. So.
And I'm excited about the Sammy's Place and the aspect of home ownership for that project. It's just, that's what a great project that is. So
It's amazing.
you're gonna say much better stuff than
Oh, I was just thinking the opposite. I was just thinking Paul just said everything. Well done, Parker. This is fabulous work, and well done to you currently, and to Sarah for the last 5 years, and to the Housing Commission. It's so encouraging to have these projects in motion. It's so encouraging that I was thinking about when I was originally campaigning in 2018, and everyone countywide agreed that housing was our #1 problem. And maybe it still is, or maybe not, but we've made great gains since then, and I'm just really grateful for the excellent work. Thank you.
I agree with my colleagues. Obviously, this is a area that's close to my heart, and I'm super excited to have MERL coming on board. Excited that Tillamook County continues to be a leader in housing across the state. Oregon Housing Community Services has been providing technical assistance to us because they're excited to get a county on board, and I'm happy that we're the county they're bringing on board. So Parker, thank you for all your work on this. I know this is another complicated program, just like the CERTA that we're doing that's federal funding that is super complicated. This is, again, it's state funding, it's tax increment financing, it's challenging things, and there's a reason we're the first county is because everybody else is like, I don't know if I can do that, and I appreciate the attitude that you bring as well as that of our assessor, who has been willing to say, yep, we can learn this, we can do this. It's new, but it's not impossible. So I think that's what makes it work in Tillamook County is everybody comes alongside and says, yep, we can figure it out. So thank you for you. Thank you to Cassandra Larson for her part of this, and we'll look forward to getting those projects hopefully funded quickly. So thank you for that.
And soon you'll be able to take a deep breath, because
Well, we'll
No.
see what's next.
There's
I
always
know-
more
well, I
work to
know.
do, Paul.
for this project, but for the work that I know that you stressed and did a lot of hard work, both of you, and I just appreciate it. And also Cassandra, for sure. I've been meeting with her on this too. So I just love that the departments are working together. I mean, we talk about this a lot, and finding solutions that are county-wide, department-wide, rather than just siloed, and I love that. So.
Yep, we get a lot more done when we work together. So,
Mhm. And also, I wanted to add kudos to the board of Sammy's Place. I was just thinking about how somewhere around 2018 that began with the property acquisition, and then I got to tour it very early on when it was still it was still a contaminated site, and there was an old house, and solid waste had to go in and and there was, a mountain of blackberries and garbage, and it was a wreck, but those people had vision about how cool it could be. And so to see that progress from then till now is just inspiring.
Yeah, I believe that both the projects were on brownfields
Yeah,
as well.
that's another thing that's important.
Every stage of this has just been community cooperation on top of community cooperation to get it done.
Absolutely.
yeah, agreed. I think reminding people that the Brownsfield work is something that we can still help with.
Yeah.
That we're still there. If you have a site that you're concerned about whether or not it's developable because it may have or be concerned that it has contamination, you may not know, but any form of blight, reach out. That's part of what we're here to do at the county, is to help prepare those sites as best we can to make this development possible. So, again, that's another tool in the toolbox of the county. And we talk about those tools because really, as the county, we are not developing housing. That is not what we do. We're not a developer. But our goal is to be a developer-friendly environment and to provide as many tools as we can for those who would like to develop. And the Brownsfield assessment money and working with Colpack for cleanup money, that's all part of the process. So,
Absolutely.
all right. I think we're ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I move approval of resolution number 25-014 in the matter of affirming Tillamook County's participation in the State of Oregon Moderate Income Revolving Loan Program.
I second that.
Wonderful. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you again, Parker.
Thank you all.
Okay, item number 9 has been postponed, so we are on to board concerns. Are there any board concerns today?
I don't have anything.
None for me.
And for you, okay. And I will just say we're excited. This evening we have the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters dinner. It's the pre-tour dinner, and we have county commissioners coming from across the state who will participate in that, as well as some state electeds and their staff. So exciting opportunity. And then tomorrow we will take that same group of people out onto our working lands. So that will include a visit to a dairy, out into the Stimson lands in the forest, and then finish up at Trascatchery. So this is a great program of the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters Cooperative that just really is an educational opportunity. So we're excited to have folks come from across the state and learn more about how we do good things in Tillamook County with our working lands. Okay, so with that, we'll move on and I'll do the announcements. The commissioners will hold a board briefing on Wednesday, September 17th at 2 p.m. to discuss weekly commissioner updates. The meeting will be held in the Board of Commissioners Meeting Room 106 in the Tillamook County Courthouse, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook. The teleconference is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607#. The commissioners will attend the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters Cooperative VIP Tour on Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 8 a.m. The tour will include various natural resource locations. The commissioners will attend an Association of Oregon Counties District 7 meeting on Friday, September 19th, 2025 at 10 a.m. The meeting will be held in Newport, Lincoln County, Oregon. With that, we will adjourn this meeting at 9:53 a.m. Somebody has to keep an eye on us.